Hi, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about different materials that we can use when we're making our snowflakes. And especially I'm going to be answering the question of how do I fold a circle. You can see we have a coffee filter here and muffin paper or cupcake paper. We're going to go ahead and I'll walk you through how to fold these. We'll go ahead and start with the larger one. You're going to start by flattening it out as best you can. If you really want it super flat, you can go ahead and use an iron. Very carefully, I usually would put a towel between the paper and the iron to put it flat, but hand pressing is just fine. And we're just going to go ahead and match the edges and fold it in half. And then we're going to go ahead and take these two sides. Match that corner. Match the edge all along. I'll do that one more time. It's just a little bit on me. Just want to have nice, good creases when we do this so that we have good detail along our edges. Then we're going to go ahead and fold this angle right here into thirds, just like we would normally. It might actually be a little easier since you can match the edges. Flip it over and go ahead and match. Just turn it a little bit so I can get a good view of the crease as I'm showing you. And then we refold 3, and as we refold 3, we go ahead and make our nice good creases. And there we go, we have our beginning for our snowflake. You can go ahead and keep this outer edge as the edge, or go ahead and change it however you would like to do it. I'm going to go ahead and show you the same thing here on the muffin paper or the cupcake paper. These come in different sizes. Again, you could flatten it completely flat with an iron if you wanted to. Go ahead and fold it in half, and then fold it in fours by folding the half in half. It's good fraction practice. Then we're going to fold this piece into thirds by going ahead and dividing this angle into thirds just like we normally do. And I'm eyeballing it with practice. Hopefully you'll be able to eyeball it too and get very close. It is paper, so you can always unfold it. If you have too many creases you don't like, you can go ahead and use an iron or your hands to flatten it back out again and try again. I'm unfolding 3, and then I just turn the paper so that I can see my crease a little bit better. Just line up. My point doesn't want to cooperate as much this time. Go ahead and line up for fold 4 with that crease, and then we go ahead and refold 3. There we go. We're ready to start cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about how you can tell if a paper is good for cutting or not, and one of those things is whether or not a paper punch can go all the way through all of the layers. Just a regular standard size paper punch is what I'm going to use today. And if it can punch through, then usually you're also able to cut through with just a regular pair of scissors. The better your scissors are and the more comfortable they are in your hand, the easier it will be to go through all 12 layers. Let's go ahead and punch this one as well. So the coffee filter did punch pretty cleanly. Go ahead and put a few extra punches in this one, just for the design. And I'm just going to freehand design. Now you can see that one of the little pieces. Didn't come all the way off, but you can gently take them off. You might need to use your scissors a little bit on some of them if they didn't go all the way through. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't use these. It just, if you do have some issues with punching, it usually means you're going to need to be a little careful with your cuts or with your punches to make sure that you don't accidentally rip. Sometimes you try to pull away the piece that you just cut away and you end up tearing your project. Just going to clean up that edge just that little bit more. Now, one thing about punching on the fold is it certainly does tattletale on you if there's a little bit of an issue with the fold shifted one way or the other. It's just part of going through all 12 layers of paper. So we're going to go ahead. I think I might actually do just a couple more punches on this one. Again, I'm just freehanding on these just to show you. See, we got another one that's stuck. So I'm holding that behind with my fingernail to make sure that I don't tear everything. And then we're going to go ahead and just cut with scissors. And I'm just freehanding. Normally I do start from the outside and work my way down. But when you're freehanding, it just kind of depends on how you decide that you want to do the pattern. And as the snowflakes get more complex, I usually go ahead and do the more complicated parts first. Any part that might be just really small or detailed or that might rip, I usually go ahead and do that part first. That way too, if you mess up on the hardest part, you can turn it into something different if you want to. It's just going to be up to you. So I usually do make sure I leave at least 2 folds on both of the long sides of the triangle. This time I left 4 folds on this side and only 2 on this side. So let's go ahead and open it up and we'll see what it looks like. I do enjoy freehanding because I like the kind of the surprise of seeing what you end up with. You want to encourage you to experiment with different materials that you find around your house. I know a lot of times people do like to make snowflakes from the coffee filters, and so that's why I'm showing you this today as part of the how to fold a circle into a snowflake. There we go. And I'll go ahead and put this on the scanner in a little bit so that you can see how it turned out. Now we're going to go ahead and I'll just freehand cut this last one and we'll see how it turns out. Cupcake paper is a little bit slippery as compared to the coffee filter. The coffee filter did kind of stay together a little more. I'm sure that will depend on individual brands as well, but just something to be aware of. we go. Thank you for watching. Okay, we're going to go ahead and unfold the centers as well, just so you can see what they look like. It's always a good idea to check and see if you have anything salvageable in your to be recycled pile. This is a little bit challenging to unfold. It does kind of stick to itself, which is nice so that it doesn't slide around while you're cutting. There we go. That actually ended up being a fun little 2-in-1 snowflake with the coffee filter. This other one is quite smaller snowflake, so it might be a fun little starburst to display with them. There's that one. So I do actually like the floral shape of this one. You can make flowers or different things with the snowflakes. Thank you for watching.